When it comes to the big gated 80s drum sounds, you're in either of one or two camps, those who really love it and those who are mistaken. Today we're going to turn this kit that we're listening to now into some absolutely monstrous drums. Great 80s gated, just big rock drums. But first let's have a listen to what's going on here with this kit. It's quite nice, yeah, very usable. We got a bit of room going on there, but we're not going to be using that, so let's take that out. Okay, this is the kit dry. Still a very usable kit, very nice, but it's definitely not the 80s sound that we're going for. Alright, so if we bring up my inserts up here, well, we've got a bit of compression and some EQ and some tape saturation. Now, if you don't have tape saturation, that's okay, because it's a nice to have, but not really that necessary for this. What we're going to do first is just have a listen to the two kick drums. So just muting all of that. Okay, so we've got a kick in and a kick out. So the kick in is facing the batter head, kick out is facing the resonant head. Okay, this is the inner kick by itself and the outer kick by itself. So you can hear one's got a lot more click, one's got a lot more of the body of the bass drum. Now, as I said, I've got some compression and some EQ and some tape saturation. So this is what that's going to sound like on the kicks. So just fattens it up a bit, get a bit more click in there. You know, it's beginning to sound pretty good on its own. Okay, but one of the tricks we're going to use is to do a bit of layering. So what I'm going to do with the kick drum is layer it with a Simmons SDS5 kick drum. And there it is. Just have a listen to what that's doing. It's sort of giving it more emphasis. It's getting a bit more aggressive. Okay, and that is the SDS5 kick drum all by itself. So to be fair, this is not samples. So I am using, there we go. Okay, I brought that up and you can see that this is a plugin, an Ellie James plugin for the SDS5. Now it is absolutely brilliant. I mean, it is physical modeling, I believe you'd call it, and it is just fantastic. You've got all of these knobs, bells and whistles just to, you know, tweak around with. Just fantastic. All right. And there we are, the kick drum in all its glory. So the next thing we're going to do is the snares. Okay, so again we can hear we got a, you know, top snare, bottom snare. Okay, so that is the bottom. You get that nice crackle from the snares. And then if we add in the top snare, you're getting just the body, the meat of the snare drum. But again, we have got some compression, some EQ, and some tape saturation on these as well. And this is what it's going to do. Okay, just bringing it forward more. Got a bit more crack, you know, a bit more body in there, but it's also brought up the spill. Now, what I would say about spill is don't ever be afraid of it. If you're just working with samples, you don't have to worry at all about it. But spill, part of the kit, it's great, it's fantastic. And as a drummer, I'm totally used to it. So yeah, just keep it in there. It's all good. As long as it's not too far in your face, it's brilliant. Okay, so the next step in this getting the 80s sound is adding to the snare. So what they typically did back then was have a couple of noise generators, one of which was 100 hertz tone and the other was peak noise, and they were both sidechain gated to the head of your snare. I'm going to do something a little bit different. So I'm going to bring up an SDS5 snare. Okay, and listen to what that's doing. We've got a little extra click and a little bit more fat body in there. And that's what the SDS is sounding like right now. So what we've got here is a 100 hertz tone and the noise. Now what's going on with this as well is, so if I bring up the plug-in again, what we've got is this bend, okay? So we can see the tone, 100, but they've got the bend going down all the way. And that just gives you a bit more movement, you know, and has the effect of having it sound a little bit lower than what the 100 hertz tone is going to be. Okay, so we blend that back in. All right. The other thing that we're going to do with this is add in a detuned Lindrum LM1 snare. And that is going to sound like this. Okay, very dry, very tight. So I think most people know that the LM1 was sample-based drum machine. And so the sample itself is a little bit late. So you get a little bit of groove in there. And if we marry that up with the Simmons, you can definitely hear a little bit of flamming in there, but that's okay. Don't worry about that. It's going to be hidden, okay? Because we've got the other snare on top and that's going to add to the crispness. And that's what we're getting with all of those combined. So we're starting to fatten up that snare. It sounded good. And, you know, still not quite 80s, but we're definitely going to get there. So let's throw in the whole kit as a whole. Sounding good. There we go. That's it. I believe that's everything. So yeah, sounded pretty good. Again, not quite that big, huge 80s, you know, gated reverb monstrosity. And you guessed it. More EQ, more tape saturation. Fantastic. Okay, so let's bring in this reverb, the secret sauce. Land it nicely in. There you go. Big, huge, monstrous 80s drums. Fantastic. Now, you might hear a bit of a gate on that, but you may have noticed that I do not have a gate loaded. Okay, let's bring this up. This is the reverb. And what we got here is a large room size and a small main time size. So that's the tail. The rest of the room. It's really small, and that's what gives you that gated effect. The other thing you might notice is we have no early reflections, and it is all tail. Okay, and definitely no pre-delay either. So this is all just straight from the drums into the tail, and yeah, it's fat. It is fat, man. It's great. These drums, they're so 80s, I can feel my hair follicles growing back. It's just unbelievable. It's great. Alright, so maybe we should go back to where we started from. The original. Just massive. Unbelievable. Great. Fantastic. Love them.